Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Thursday, August 21st. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
And I will never forget coming across the bridge and turning and coming to the gazebo, and there were people there, and I was astounded. I didn't think anyone would come. And
More than 3 decades ago, now former city councillor Michael Fair was part of the group that organized Edmonton's first Pride March.
It was actually on a Sunday, and it was a parade that was two blocks long.
In June of 1991, a group of 30 to 40 people started at the gazebo in McIntyre Park and marched down White Avenue.
Some people wore paper bags over their head so they could see if they didn't want to be identified. But we basically just marched down those 2 blocks and back to that, and we thought we'd done a miracle.
A couple of years later, Fair organized Edmonton's third Pride Parade, this time as the city's first openly gay councillor.
I, Mayor Jan Reimer, do hereby proclaim June 26th Gay and Lesbian Pride Day in Edmonton.
We're here, we're queer, we're proud of it, get used to it.
Fair recalls having a significantly larger group and says it felt more like a parade. Supporters stood and applauded as they marched down White. And nobody wore paper bags despite protesters showing up.
Shame, 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 shame.
They're shouting shame at you.
Oh, we're not. They ought to be the ones that are ashamed.
In 1995, Bill Smith was elected mayor of Edmonton.
Oh, it was not easy. I mean, it was hugely disappointing.
I don't think we need to issue a proclamation to say to everybody, because Edmontonians clearly know that we shouldn't be discriminating against gays and lesbians at any time.
Citing personal beliefs, Smith refused to proclaim Gay and Lesbian Awareness Day. Fair says trying to get a proclamation was hopeless. In 1998, the Supreme Court of Canada ordered the government of Alberta to include sexual orientation in its human rights laws. Despite the change, Mayor Smith continued to refuse proclamations for Pride events.
Is that what we're talking about? I can't talk about that.
He gives out proclamations for everything, and we deserve a proclamation like any other part of the community.
Pride organizers threatened Smith with a human rights complaint.
And a couple of years later, he was forced to do it.
I have personal principles, but the law is another matter.
Mr. Smith gave us the proclamation this year, and we thank him for that. That was a very difficult thing for him to do. It was the right thing for him to do, and legally he was obligated.
Heightened security in the lobby of the TIFF Lightbox building as the Toronto International Film Festival announced its roster of Canadian films. The festival is still reeling from the controversy over award-winning Canadian filmmaker Barry Averich's film, The Road Between Us, The Ultimate Rescue, about a Jewish father's daring rescue of family members in the aftermath of the Hamas attacks on October 7th, 2023.
I'd like to take a moment to reflect.
TIFF CEO Cameron Bailey.
I want to apologize for any hurt, frustration, or disappointment that our communication about the film has caused, and for any mischaracterizations that have taken root.
The film is officially back in the festival. TIFF is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and the International Festival's commitment to Canadian films remains strong.
I directed a short film called Demons. It's my 4th time in TIFF as a director.
Whether it's your 4th time or your first time, filmmakers are thrilled to get the call their film has been accepted.
I was ecstatic. I think I jumped around and was so happy.
And for some, Toronto landmarks play a part.
CP24's news gathering Jeep busting through the wall is a key.
You're calling that a character.
That's a key character within the film, and a star that all the folks at home are going to love to see.
And forget about the popcorn if you go see Jamal Berger's film, Still Single, about Masake Sato, Toronto's sushi superstar.
After the screening, there's going to be a huge sushi counter on King Street for people to enjoy.
And for veterans like Clement Virgo, whose first film screened at TIFF in 1991, this festival and the business are dear to him.
That's all I want to do is I want to make films. I want to communicate. I want to connect with audiences and have my film being seen.
The 50th Annual Toronto International Film Festival starts on September 4th, and the opening night film is John Candy, I Like Me. The film was directed by Colin Hanks, the son of Tom Hanks. It is the third film he's made behind the camera. Andria Case, in front of the camera, CTV News.
While it might not look like it just yet, this is where the lap and leisure pools will be in Barrie's new YMCA facility, the sixth of its kind in Simcoe, Muskoka.
I can't believe how quickly construction starts. It's been years in the making, years in the planning and dreaming, and all of a sudden the walls are starting to come up.
Its official groundbreaking next to Sadlin Arena was celebrated back in March. 5 months later, the foundation for the 77,000 square foot facility is taking shape, with electrical and mechanical work starting to get underway. The 30-plus local workers hard at work despite the rainy conditions.
Things are going well. Foundation's coming along nicely. Both pools are coming along very well.
Y officials and construction crews estimate that the walls could be up as early as December and its roof could be in place by the first quarter of the new year. The facility will have a full gymnasium, space for the Y's Child Care Center, 12 youth transitional housing units, and an indoor accessible playground.
We are excited to come back to the city and offer this center of community, this place where people come and belong and offer the programs to children and youth and families and have a place where they can come and connect.
The facility will also employ more than 100 regular staff and provide plenty of opportunities for the Y's 300-plus volunteers.
There will be staff from the RVH and the RVH programming and youth transitional housing, as well as many, many volunteers.
And YMCA officials say they've already funded around 80% of the project's $70 million price tag, thanks to the city, county, province, and other supporters. And those who are interested in donating can find more information online. Reporting live in Barrie, I'm Mike Lang.
This is what a typical day looks like for Celine Delalo and her twin sons, Thomas and Xavier. But it was a tough road to get here.
It was a high-risk pregnancy because they are identical twins.
16 weeks into the pregnancy, Delalo and her husband were told Thomas had a rare lung malformation and would need to have surgery when he was born. But things got more complicated involving the other twin, Xavier.
We heard a really quick heartbeat, so we don't know what a fetal echo should look like or sound like, but we did know that there was something off because one of the heartbeats was extremely fast.
Xavier was diagnosed with something called supraventricular tachycardia, meaning his heart rate will spike spontaneously.
That day his heart rate was about 270 beats per minute, which is very quick for a baby. When you hear something like that, you get a little on edge.
She ended up having to give birth at 34 weeks, so the boys were born 6 weeks prematurely. Thomas and Xavier were immediately admitted to the neonatal intensive care unit at the Montreal Children's Hospital, where they stayed for 2 months. At first, Delalo felt helpless, especially when Xavier's heart rate would spike.
Alarms would go off and the nurses would come in and check, and the first few times it happens, it really is scary because you don't know how he's going to react because now he's out in the world. He's no longer in my belly. The good thing was that we were in the hospital.
But the support system at the Children's helped their family adjust.
It was comforting to know that they were working with us, helping us out, keeping our best interests in mind.
The philosophy here at the Children's where we're at is we are child health, but we are also family health.
Staff at the Children's aims to equip families with the skill sets to take care of their children on their own once they leave the hospital.
We're explaining to them how to do things, but we're also showing them so they can become, while they're in the hospital, primary caregivers, and then they're set up confident to go home.
About 1.5 years later, Delalo feels confident enough to handle Xavier's episodes on her own. But she also knows staff at the Children's is a phone call away.
All that work is done thanks to the support of the people who are donating in our foundation.
They want to make sure that when they send you home, you're going to feel confident enough to do what you need to do to get past whatever challenge you're facing.
Jack Richardson, CTV News.
Caleb Van Koenen pulls on his Yamaha jersey for practice at Moto 86 near Wingham. But in a little over a month from now, that will be a Canadian jersey on his back.
I'm just so excited. It's a great opportunity. I'm not really going there to
to win, but I'm just going to go, have some fun, and it's just a great experience, so I'm super excited.
At the ripe old age of 14, Van Koenig will ride for Team Canada at the upcoming Motocross of Nations, taking place this fall in Indiana. He's one of 9 amateurs and 3 pros selected to pull on the Canadian colors at the world-class event known as the Olympics of Motocross.
I'm just so grateful to be able to, do this. Like, I'm really fortunate to have the financial stability and, like, my team, MX101, Yamaha, and they're super good supporters, and I've been putting in so much work. So, yeah, I'm so happy to be able to do this.
The young Huron County native has been riding motocross since the age of 4. In the 6th grade, he signed a lucrative sponsorship deal with Kawasaki, becoming one of the youngest riders to do so in Canada. He has since moved over to Yamaha, but motocross is not just a pastime or hobby for Van Koenig. It's his job as he pushes towards turning pro, which can't happen until he turns 16.
I've been putting tons of work in. I was down in Texas for like a month and a half by myself, just training and putting as much work as I can. And then, yeah, we're going to go back probably after Indiana. We'll go back down and keep grinding again.
Last year, 36 nations were represented at the Motocross of Nations, which has been running since 1947. Canada ended up 15th last year. Van Koenig hopes to change that, but mostly plans to soak in his first, but probably not last time, representing Canada on the track.
It'll be a great experience, get to see some new people, and yeah, just represent Yamaha.
Near Wingham, Scott Miller, CTV News.
The experience begins in downtown Calgary, where the golfers are picked up in style and brought out to the Mickelson National Golf Course. They're here for the Good Human Golf Tournament, hosted by Forward Level, a marketing and HR firm.
We wanted to bring together like-minded people, have some fun and give back. And so really, being a human experience firm, we're really on focus on making an experience that they won't forget.
This is the 4th year for the tournament that started small.
We just threw it out there, and we took 16 people out to Kananaskis Golf and Country Club. Elevate the experience. We took out some limos. Next year we got a call for some people like, are you guys doing that again? And we're like, well, I guess we better keep this rolling. So we went from 16 to today's 64 golfers.
Bob Robinson has signed up every year and was one of those first golfers who's now sponsoring a hole for this year's event.
Well, it's fantastic. You look around here, how beautiful it is. You spend a day outside, fresh air, great people, and at the end of the day, there's a pile of dough that goes towards a really good cause. So it really warms the heart for sure.
The tournament has a goal to raise money for local charities, and in the first 3 years has raised more than $43,000. Half the money raised this year goes to the Calgary International Film Festival's Generation Next project that provides free passes to high school students interested in the craft.
The film and television industry here has grown phenomenally over the past several years, and so there is a lot more interest in young people in joining up and becoming a part of that industry. And yeah, it's great to have this support so that we can be a stepping stone for their path.
Brianna Hall is more than happy to contribute.
It's a beautiful day, wonderful people doing wonderful things in Calgary and across the country, and happy to be a part of it.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, west of Calgary.
Some dreams came true today at Nav Batia's Superfan Fantasy Basketball Camp. 100 youngsters experiencing some special moments with some special guests at Newton's Grove School in Mississauga. Among them, Satnam Singh, who in 2015 was the first Indian man to be drafted to the NBA. Today, Singh, who's 7'4" and weighs more than 400 pounds, is now a superstar in the AEW, All Elite Wrestling.
It is not easy. You need to work hard. You had to be dedication. If you want to play basketball, you had to put your 100% over there. If you want to be the wrestler, you had to put 100% in wrestling.
Words of inspiration at an event designed to give kids opportunities.
Very satisfying, my dream coming true, to help the kids, to help the underprivileged kids, and to inspire the kids. Every kid gets one of this ring, and then the leader of each team will get a pennant like this.
Since 2020, Batia's Fantasy Basketball Camp has been running 3 days a year every summer.
100 kids every single day. They get to show up. We make them feel like they were drafted in the NBA or WNBA.
The basketball camp, full of drills and thrills.
Out of 10 is like a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, how why? Because
I really love basketball. It's amazing. I love it so much. Why? Because there's so much basketball, and I love basketball so much.
You wore the real, actual championship ring in the Hall of Fame ring.
And other unexpected perks, like getting to see a Raptors NBA championship ring and a Hall of Fame ring up close and personal.
And they were like heavier than I thought they would be.
It was really fun, and it was a great experience.
A great experience, making memories that will last a lifetime. Janice Golding, CTV News.
Olivier Mirac doesn't just race go-karts, he lives for them.
I just love the adrenaline. I love racing.
The 15-year-old has been racing since he was 9. After taking the checkered flag at the Canadian final in Edmonton, he's getting set to head to Bahrain.
Racing against the best racers in the world and representing my country feels great.
And if he can win that race,
then you're the world champion. You're the best in the world.
The love for racing was passed down from his father, who initially had to drag him to the track at a young age.
At first he didn't like it, but then he began to love it.
His dad says it won't be just any race in Bahrain, it's a world event, and Olivier is among the best.
Very proud, and it's a world event, and it's the best drivers from around the world. And that's what makes it so special for me, that he's actually part of this.
This is his first year in seniors, and he won the ticket, which is, rarely seen.
For his mother, races are exciting as they are stressful, with speeds that can reach up to 130 kilometers per hour.
It's very stressful. Sometimes I can't watch. I just have to leave the stands and I pace back and forth. It's fun, it's exhilarating, but it's very stressful. For a mom, it's very stressful.
For Olivier, he says racing go-karts is just the beginning.
My main dream is to get to Formula One, but any car would be nice to race for a career.
Olivier hits the track in Bahrain the first week of December. Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
Members of Muscopheating Soto Nation receiving a special homecoming. A group of youth who were taken into the child welfare system, disconnected from their home nation, back home, brought together to meet family and community.
This is where you come from. Whether you were raised on reserve, raised in the nation, you can always learn your history. You can always learn your culture. You can always learn who your people are. And we wanted to do that as leadership, to let our people know this is where you come from.
Muscopheating has been working to make this moment possible, coordinating trips from as far as BC for members to make it to the nation's first annual powwow. Barbara Feiss has raised her son since he was 6 weeks old. She says over the years they tried to get him connected to his home community, eventually starting correspondence. The meeting has been an emotional and overwhelming experience.
He's a fantastic kid, and I love it because he's now starting to meet family and making friends and meeting cousins, and that's you can't put money on that.
The special ceremony welcoming members back coincides with the nation's week-long event called Chikuk Days, honoring 150 years the nation signed on to Treaty 4 territory. The main event, a 3-day powwow inside of a brand new event arbor made of wood and steel, a place to gather and celebrate for years to come.
This year is only the start, it's only the beginning, and we're hoping to make sure that everybody that belongs to Muscopheating, whether they live in BC, Japan, wherever they are, that they know this is where their home is, this is where they belong.
Chikuk Days are to conclude this weekend. Mick Favel, CTV News, Muscopheating Soto Nation.
For the first time in nearly 30 years, SaskTel won't be attached to the name of the Saskatchewan Jazz Festival. The Crown Corporation has held naming rights since 1998, a sponsorship that comes with an annual price tag of $150,000.
It puts us in a tricky position. That's unavoidable, and it's a vulnerable position.
Organizers are busy searching for a new major sponsor, but say there's no bad blood with SaskTel.
We're the 10th jazz festival in Canada to have lost our title sponsor in about the last 2 years or so. This is something that's been endemic to the industry.
In an email to CTV News, SaskTel says it will still be involved in the festival, just at a smaller scale. Quote, "This change is in no way a reflection of the quality or impact of the Saskatchewan Jazz Festival, which we continue to respect and admire. By backing off as title sponsor, SaskTel says it's better positioned to support other causes in the province." This year, more than 30,000 people attended the Saskatchewan Jazz Festival, which is held each summer in Saskatoon. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Chani Gonzalez will never forget that day she had to have that tough talk with her sons about school.
They were both kind of grappling to keep up and stay afloat.
Well, both Deshaun and Damani had been mourning the loss of a couple close family members. They also questioned their mom's lecture about the value of education.
And then my brother was the one who said, okay, well, you didn't graduate and we're fine.
Well, the boys didn't realize how much their single mom was actually struggling. They did know Chani had dropped out of school at 14.
That was the slap in the face where I was like, okay, I need to do something proactive.
While Chani considered how to move forward, she couldn't help but look back.
My parents were addicts, but I had more love than most kids.
But love couldn't stop their family from enduring the ravages of addiction, poverty, and homelessness, which forced Chani to start working 3 jobs instead of going to school.
I always wanted to go back. I always did, but life just kept happening.
While Chani experienced too many bad things over the next few years, she also welcomed 2 of the greatest and was determined to do what was best for her boys.
So I was like, if I go back and I try to get A's and B's, will you try to match me?
And I was like, yeah, because I didn't think she actually would. Oh, I was wrong. I was so wrong.
Chani returned to school 23 years after she left and found herself juggling her kids, her homework, and facing her fears of failure.
There was days I went to class and I was crying to my teacher like, I can't do this.
Well, Chani's teachers inspired her to persevere. After completing enough courses to finally graduate, she inspired them to award her with 4 bursaries and honor her as valedictorian.
It helped me to gain back my confidence and realize my potential. I always was just kind of satisfied with what I had, which was the least. And now I have a taste of, like, maybe I can do something in the world.
Well, Chani's now planning to go to college to pursue a career in healthcare, and her boys couldn't be more proud of her accomplishments and their academic improvements. They're all grateful for the life lesson they were brave enough to teach each other.
The only time you fail is when you kind of let yourself fail. No matter what can hit you in life, like, you can always bounce back.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Maple Ridge.